Okay everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing these two gloves. They're heated, and this is the Keis G502 and this is the Gerbing Extreme XRL. So a little bit of information on these gloves. They've both got a scaphoid protector here. They both fit quite nicely, although I would say that the Keis is a much better fitment. It's just a little bit thinner, and also it doesn't have an overly large thumb, which the Gerbing range do. I don't know which planet they come from, but they are very strange people because all of their range have an overly large thumb. Keis is alright. This is the right hand glove for Gerbing, but on both left hands they have a rain wipe there, a visor wipe. Both got good knuckle protection. This one's full leather, this one is half leather, half textile. Where the battery goes is inside here. I'll just show you. On the Keis you've got a hardwired in cable there, well, a socket, and on the Gerbing you've got this cable that attaches to the battery. Now I've got them attached to the battery today, but you can have them direct to the bike as well. They're both 100% waterproof, but with the Keis, if it's over the jacket, which it most likely is if you've got the battery, then you might find that the rain sort of wicks down through there. With Gerbing they've addressed that by putting this drawstring in and just making it a little bit tighter there. So it's not 100% waterproof, but it will do much better than the Keis. Okay, to turn them on, long press goes to hot, and for the Gerbing, long press goes to its lowest setting, and then you have to press again for medium, and then you press again for high. Okay, let's get going. Oh, no, one thing I didn't mention in the introduction is that the Gerbing has a touch finger, whereas the Keis doesn't. So I'm going to do a variation of roads. With the heated grips off to start off with, see how they get on, and see how they perform really. It's 12 degrees Celsius at the moment, so it's not warm and it's not cold. It's definitely not the temperature that you would think about using heated gloves in, but the way I see it is, if they don't perform well now, then you're probably not going to buy it for the colder days. Okay, I've got them both on now, and I can feel that there is quite a difference between the two gloves. On the Keis glove, which is on the left, the heating is kind of localized around the top part of the palm, sort of this area. You do have some heating on the fingers. I mean, there's a little bit, but not much. With the Gerbing, what's this weirdo doing? With the Gerbing, the heating is all around the glove. Yeah, there's quite a big difference now. Been riding for about 5 minutes, and the right hand, which is the Gerbing, is very warm, and the left hand, which is the Keis, is a little bit warm, but only on the top of the hand. Also, I'll say that I have used quite a lot in both ranges actually. Keis, I've used the 7.0 series, I've used the 5.0 series, I've used the 6.0 series. Each of them have subtle differences. The 7.0 series is a bit warmer, but a bit thicker glove, but the heating is still the same. It's still localized to the top of the hand, and not so much on the fingers, and definitely none on the bottom. With the Gerbing, I have tried a lot of their range because I was trying to look for the perfect glove, and I found that there isn't one. Because a bit annoying really, because even when you get the right fit, they have that really large thumb, and I'm not sure why. But it's not enough to put you off. It's not enough to put you off, but it's just something that they could perhaps perfect. You know, on this planet we don't really have overly large thumbs, so Well, not normally anyway. Okay, so I've been riding with the heated grips on for quite a while now, and what I can say now that they're up to temperature is that the Keis is doing much better. It needs to be combined with heated grips, but it's still, you know, there is still a difference. It's only 12 degrees and it's warm enough, you know, so as a heated glove, I think it's fair to say that I probably wouldn't choose it for winter riding. The Gerbing, however, is on a different level in terms of heat. This is very, very warm all around, you know, and the thing is as well with the Keis, you can tell now that the underside of the hand is warmer than the top part because of the heated grip is outperforming the actual glove right now. But on the right hand side, which is the Gerbing, there is nothing that feels more warmer than the other part. So the glove is just as warm as the grip, and vice versa. The grip is just as warm as the glove. But it's really, really warm. Really warm. Almost to the point of... I mean, I know that the Keis is on, I know that, but this is so warm on the right hand side, it almost makes you think, well, is that left hand side on? Okay, so now I'm in the slower roads. I can say that the Gerbing gloves are in a different level altogether as the Keis. You know, the Keis really need heated grips in order to feel warm, and even then there's a marked difference between the top part of the glove, which is where the heating element in the glove is, and the heated grip itself. The heated grip outperforming the glove by quite some distance. The Gerbing is, it doesn't really need heated grips because it's warm enough as it is, but if you do combine it with heated grips, it's very nice and very warm all over. Okay, so riding these slower roads, there's just a different league really between the Keis and the Gerbing, and I know it's not a completely fair test because the Keis is a bit of a thinner glove, but at the end of the day you're buying a heated glove, so you want it to be warm, and this is okay for people that either use handlebar muffs or they don't ride throughout the winter in single digits. But really the Gerbing is in a different level altogether. The only thing I would say about the Keis over the Gerbing is the fitment. It has a much better fitment than the Gerbing. Okay, so that concludes my little field test with these two gloves, and the conclusion is that the Gerbing wins as a heated glove. This is okay if you don't ride in the winter or single digits, but I think it would struggle to keep up in really cold weather, whereas this one, I don't think we have any weather that it can't perform well in. So yeah, I'd definitely recommend the Gerbing. Tried a lot of their range. Go and see them in person, go to a store and try on some different gloves as well, because they do have a bit of a sizing issue. If you do buy the Keis, then like I say, I mean, I've had quite a few of their gloves and they are true to size, so I'd be happy to buy that off the internet. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you've got any experience of heated gloves or either of these two brands, then pop your comments in.